recording.
Groovy.
Okay, now it's for real.
And 3, 2, 1.
Ah, yes. It's that time. It's that time again. Distorted Reality Podcast. We're Distorted Nation Radio beats Reality Check TV. With your hosts, C-Core from Distorted Nation Radio and Hellrzzr from Reality Check TV. With your Kevlar coated comments, it's time to distort your reality.
Okay, and we're here, and this is episode 15, and we have special guest hosts in the house, Cardboard Ringo Band, and we have John, and we have Steve, and we have Joe, okay? And today we're going to have our alternate personalities. We are having our band personalities, so just for a disclaimer, this is just who we are when we're like either on a stage or at a podcast or in an interview, so please don't judge us when we're on the street acting normal, okay? Okay, so let's just, everybody, take a deep breath and adjust your balls. Okay, one or two, right?
By the way.
Okay, just, I'm just feeling.
Only one, but it's big.
It's big. It's a big one.
Wrecking
It
ball.
counts. It counts. Is anybody sweaty right now? I'm a little sweaty. You good?
Sweaty.
I'm always sweaty.
Okay, so this is episode 15, and I'm, it's been slow and steady, and I just want to let you guys know that I'm really happy that you guys came up. You're the first band that, first of all, for Reality Check TV NorCal, you are our band of the year, and we appreciate that. So cheers to that. And the year started, I guess, halfway through last year, right? So we're just going to continue it on. It was like band of the year 2022, 2023, right?
It's like a basketball season.
Yeah, it's a season. It's a season. And this is the first time we've ever had anybody come up and eat before. Usually I don't eat till after, so I'm feeling like
Shit, Sunday supper, it was super awesome.
great spread,
we thank you for that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, it wasn't my best meatloaf, okay? I added some different things, and it wasn't spicy enough, and so I don't care. I noticed
It was pretty damn good.
It was okay. Really? Will you take some home?
Well, as long as it wasn't,
your dog?
Beef, because we're vegetarians.
Well, a little bit of beef and a little bit of pork, but
Steve,
it's fine.
okay, yeah.
It's fine. Even though pork, that's not the
They
cleanest
eat plants.
animal.
They eat plants close
right.
enough.
So, okay, so, you're Cardboard Ringo, and we did an interview before when we were in the bathroom of the Opera House, and that was super fun, and I don't even remember what we talked about, so we can recap different things,
As awkward as that sounds.
Yeah, right. In the women's bathroom. It was really cool when we were leaving because I was watching a couple people's faces, and they're like, what's happening? I'm like, you don't even know, I wanted it to be more dramatic. I wanted us to.
You knew.
I wish we would have tore some shirts off. I know you had your shirt off on stage that night, And,
Well, I walked out of the bathroom pinching my nipples, and that raised a couple eyebrows too. They were like, "What was happening in there? He wasn't done, or what was going on?"
So, John, I want you to know that night I took a whole bunch of pictures of you with your shirt off, like a photo shoot, right? But then Kevin wouldn't. He
knows.
He edited a couple of them. He edited those pictures that night, and he's like, you only need two. No, he goes, you only need 2 photos of John. I'm like, actually, I had like 25, and he wouldn't let me put them all up. Like, I have them though, if you want,
that would be great.
Copies.
Because I think if you remember, I said that we want to see what the pandemic did to me, and I used to have my shirt off every night when we played. And 3 years of not working out and doing so much, I had that little mushroom muffin top. Just my handles, as the baby calls them.
Right,
and
you can't wear like the man, because when women can get away with different things. We have like an optical illusion.
I had my wife's leather pants on, so everything was just like squished out and up.
You have a beautiful wife.
Thank you
really
so
do.
much.
And we're going to talk about all your women, okay? Because Steve has a woman, right? And Joe has a woman? Okay. Because I think I embarrassed, I wasn't sure, I'm always saying who's the single one, and I hope your women are fun, that they're not, obviously you're in a band, they're not haters. They understand that women are part of the deal. They're, have any of you had anyone recently in the last couple years, like fangirls, just like fall in love that night and just realize, hey, back off, whore. I'm married.
No, we're single on stage.
Okay.
Our wives aren't up there with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay if they like throw their panties at you guys or any of that stuff. Anyone want to
It's
speak to that?
sink. It's all good.
Anybody throw you like a double D, triple E kind of bra ever? Anything like that?
I got a sports bra from a double H lady.
Okay.
Yeah, but she did that weird, like, inside the shirt thing, and pulled off and threw it. And I was like, Jesus Christ!
She couldn't even just like take it off and flash you some,
I mean, it was like
hoo-has?
I was gonna use it for a bra for my car. They were double H. It was
Oh, double
crazy
H,
big.
A, B, C. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were big
All right.
big ass sports bra.
But you guys aren't opposed to that, like a thong just being flung at your face,
No, not at all.
Okay,
We
that's
invite it. It just never happens.
it. Just
Yeah.
okay. Well, check it out. It might. Okay. You wouldn't like freak out if I threw you one of mine, like on the next time you guys,
No, as long as
All
Kevin
right.
throws his too. I mean,
Right.
we're open for anything.
Okay, okay, because he has some cool Supermans. Okay, I'll have him
Right.
bring his Superman DVDs, and they're kind of sexy. So, wouldn't that be funny if you just put those on in my bra too? I mean, they were ad-libbing. Would you just put it on? It's big enough, right?
I would do that, absolutely.
You would? Okay,
Yes,
I have a yellow
absolutely.
bra. I'm gonna throw on stage next time we film you.
Please do.
Okay,
The
and that would be so fun. And then,
stunt bra. Start a thing.
and if you could just slip on Kevin's, it'll be clean. I won't throw, but I might just take my sweaty bra off for you guys and just throw it up there
That
because
would be
that's
sweet.
cool.
We'd
'Cause we don't
appreciate
want
that.
his sweaty underwear. No,
Absolutely
we'll keep
not.
his clean.
Speak for yourself.
Right?
Right? He's like, hey. Okay, so let's do some business real quick before I forget. So who's going to speak to how we find you and all that good stuff? Just do our little advertisement real quick, Joe.
I guess
Joe.
I always get kind of picked for the business side, but
Yeah.
It's cardboardringo.com is the website. That's
Oops,
like
sorry,
our-
a little bit of problems there. Just keep going. It's fine.
That's the main kind of conduit for us is cardboardringo.com. But you can find all of our music is on every platform: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, iTunes, Apple. I mean, you name it, it's all on there. So
Okay.
and we have a new album that's getting ready to drop. We're looking.
I think I have it. Could you
This is our first EP.
Okay, that's not the one that's dropping?
No.
But let's talk about that too, though, before we
Okay.
go to the.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's up with that?
This was our first EP that we did, and
Okay.
so I'm the new guy in the band.
Okay.
What do you think? 3 years?
It's going on
At
4 now.
least, yeah.
Going on 4 now?
Yeah, it
So-
was actually 4 years last week.
Okay, wow.
So
Did you miss the anniversary?
I did.
What's
I
up? He's
wasn't
like, he has to
invited.
ask his other wives, what's going on?
I just got a new phone, and anyway, and like Google Photos I sent to the cloud that I never knew and lost after a couple of phones, they all keep popping up. And it's like
Oh, how
that's
fun.
how I know that. I can't remember dates for the life of me. but
Okay, so
yeah.
you're like acting all impressive.
Yeah, right.
But actually, the truth
No,
is you just
yeah.
like,
He doesn't
accidentally
remember
turned
that
up.
shit.
phone thing.
Technology told him.
So that's your original E EP.
So this is our original EP, but it's all songs. I think maybe but one that was they were already written by them.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Might have been
there was
two,
kind
so-
of a long hiatus of Cardboard Ringo, and then John
Yeah, but
and
it's
I
so
were-
good, so it's okay,
This,
Keep
I've
them
been in-
wanting.
They're timeless classics.
I've been playing music for a lot of years, and I'm very, very proud of this right here, and maybe a little bit even more proud of our new one that's getting
The new
ready to
one's
drop. So
Okay, so
this has
do we
been
have
some
a
of the
date on the
best-
dropping of that?
We're looking, I'd say, spring, summer.
Okay,
There's
spring,
a single
summer.
available right
The
now.
the single is on Spotify, Truth.
Okay.
And the album will be Welcome to the Revival.
Welcome to the revival. Wow.
That's how we start off every show, and how we end every show.
Is with
live.
Welcome to the revival?
Welcome to the revival. Welcome to the celebration of all things rock and roll.
Okay.
It's for you, and that's how we start. And
Well, that's kind of cool because, two of you have a celebration of recovery, right? I mean, I don't know if you ever speak to that, but wow, you just going to throw it out there 23 years? I mean, that's kind of, is that
Yeah.
known to anyone? I mean, I didn't know, so people aren't,
Well,
passing you the,
people that know me personally, I mean, know.
That's something to be proud of. There's a lot of musicians that are dying, and there's a lot of them that are sober now, and I'm glad you're representing that, just to say you could still be fierce and crazy and fun and, ridiculous, blackout sober, like, I didn't do that, but you actually did.
Our brother Tommy, guitar player in Cardboard Ringo, he couldn't be here today.
Yeah.
His metal band played West Coast Fury, played at Toots last night, but Tommy and I, we started playing together late 1979. Our first band was in 1980.
Wow.
And there was Cardboard Ringo, and that's how I joined Cardboard Ringo and all this other stuff. But Tom and I played together for a lot of years, and at the height of my drinking, height of my unsobriety, I didn't make music. Wasn't in a band, didn't play around anywhere. And then when I got sober, I realized, man, that's that part of me, the true part of me, where you get up and you speak truth to people, and there's no fucking around. It's just like it's business, and so my sobriety is a big part of us being here, sitting here today. But also the people we play to, they think I'm wasted all the time.
Totally. I had no idea. I
Right?
had no idea. I
Yeah.
thought for sure you're on some Jameson or something.
No,
Like a couple shots.
LSD doesn't control your legs, so my legs just give out. Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good though, because there's up and coming young people that realize that they think that the whole rock and roll scene has to, everyone's just like on some kind of,
But rock and roll was better when people were fucked up.
yeah.
Thank you, Rolling Stones. Thank you, fucking everybody else. You know what I mean?
I was just getting ready to say it's weird. It's kind of this double-edged sword that I can't listen to the radio anymore, and I don't really enjoy a lot of the new
Right.
music. But
I went to rehab before. It was fucking cool, man.
But on the flip side of that coin is I don't know that I could make the music that I'm making now
Right.
how I was, but when I was drinking. So,
Right.
I don't really.
You have a more and less jaded view of stuff.
Yeah.
But no worries, guys, because just because they're not drinking doesn't mean they can't
eat a lot of donuts.
they can't be addicted to other things. They're still fun. They're still fucking their life up in one way or the other.
I smoke a lot of weed. I mean, a lot of weed.
Yeah. So, it's like, what's your preference on this plate right here if you were to indulge? I know you're like trying to be
that
good and
crumb one right
everything.
there is
The
looking-
crumb one,
yes.
that's all you, baby. Okay.
I'm going to say 2/3.
2/3.
of the
I
plate?
wanted a fritter, but they didn't have anything. You know what? The bitch in front, there was two. I went to this
like
one
the jelly
donut
thing.
shop this morning.
You're watching bitch.
And there was 3 people in front, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm watching her. And
So
she's
tired
all,
of
and there was
bitching
only 4 apple fritters left. I'm like, okay, you know what? Chances are I'm going to get one. Most people don't. No.
Took 'em all.
She took 3. I'll take 3 apple fritters, and then everything good. And then the guy in front of me, I'm like, okay, there's one left. And sure enough, he took it, and I'm just like, okay, so I had to get over
Time
it.
to
So
whoop
I got
somebody's
these,
ass.
right? Fight them for a donut.
We're donut friendly. We love all
You're
donuts.
donut
I
friendly?
don't discriminate
Yeah.
against donuts.
So, Steve, speaking
Yes.
of, I'm glad you spoke up here. So, what's going on? You're the only drinker of the group. So, here, wait,
No, Tommy
cheers.
drinks.
Tommy drinks a
Cheers.
lot.
Cheers. Okay, good. He makes up for the both of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balances it out.
Yeah.
I've always
Okay.
had control over it.
They have a
Never,
ride home.
Gotten
I mean,
as
Did you
crazy
drive
as-
today?
Actually, sober guy drive.
Okay,
Yeah.
so good. So you can. I brought you another one just in case. Why not? I mean, let's keep it rolling.
Steve is my brother, my real brother.
Oh, your real blood brother?
Yeah, and he's the baby brother in the family.
Aw, he's
and
the
he's always been the
baby.
responsible, and he can drink. He can have 2 and not have to have 6 in the morning. That kind of. He pisses me off. He's a smart drinker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Responsible alcoholic.
you're,
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but what's your deal though? Because even though if you're not drinking, you're still getting naked, right? So it's like, used to be like, okay, like if I'm drunk, I'm naked, I have no responsibility,
No.
but like you just are naked,
I
right?
just don't like pants.
Okay, right, okay, I feel you.
No, it's part of just. I just don't care.
Do you sleep naked? This is a
Yeah.
question for everyone. Okay, are you
yeah.
in,
I'm
do
gonna
that.
take my headphones off. So
Jonas.
okay, so are you like in pajamas, like full
Just
matching,
chonies.
just chonies? Okay, and what about you?
I'm in shorts.
You're in shorts,
Yeah.
okay.
No blanket.
No, shorts, no blanket. Okay, these are the details that I feel like everyone needs to know.
Right.
I am completely naked, sleeping. I used to back in the day have full clothes on, but ever since I gotten a little bit older, no, I prefer to be naked. Everyone's uncomfortable. Like certain people, are like what's the problem? Like it's okay. Don't make it all weird. Let's just all get naked, right? It's like fine. Kevin doesn't mind. He doesn't mind. I can do whatever I want to when I'm out there.
That's groovy.
As long as I go home with him.
No, I'm
know?
a notorious.
You're an exhibitionist.
Absolutely.
Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Of course, that's why he's a good front man.
He's a good front man that way.
It would be a little awkward if you were an exhibitionist.
What does the wife? What is,
He's gonna wear my bra on that show. What are you
does the
talking
wife
about?
call it? The look at me disease is what I have.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess it was because when I was younger, I was like still believing in the theory of women should act a certain way, nice girls act this way, and stuff like that. And I realized, fuck that shit. I'm a nice girl. and I can do whatever I want. And I tell my mom, don't watch my stuff. I still have to be accountable. My mother's 79. Mom, I'm sorry, okay? But I'm part of you. I'm obviously the personality that you couldn't find, okay? So, just live it, you know?
Our parents growing up were
Hippies or straight-laced?
Marines turned hippies.
Oh, Marines, really?
Well, redneck sprinkled in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but also skinny dippers.
Okay,
and,
okay.
and so that was like never
okay
a
to be
problem.
both.
So they walk around naked?
Pretty much more dad, but
Yeah.
but even like the friends and families, it wasn't.
Our dad
There's no
rocked
hang up
a-
in.
Our dad rocked a Speedo a little longer than he should have.
Right.
When he
Okay.
started getting the real dad bod and
We're
wearing
going to
Speedo.
ask you, Joe, in a minute, but I want to hear about the naked dad, okay? Because when in my first marriage, I was married for 17 years, and I have 3 sons, and they're all like 27, 30, and 31. And so their dad was always naked guy, like to get the newspaper, always freaking out the neighbors. But the boys, he's older, and so they were always like, I'm like, don't worry, like, is this what I'm going to look like, Mom? He really fucked my kids up,
Right.
I'm like, no, he's old,
Yeah.
it's like, your stuff will be tight for a little while, okay, so don't worry,
You have
so.
nothing to worry about till you hit your 40s.
Right, but he really kind of scared him, because he wasn't in the best shape, and he didn't get
Right.
an F, so your dad was just like, just kind of like comfortable, he just had no problem.
It was just part of that, the environment he grew up in or
Yeah.
whatever, and he was, before Marines,
Okay.
he was, or in between Marines, before Marines, he was a swimmer.
Oh.
And an
Water polo.
Olympic caliber swimmer, water polo at San Francisco
Water
State.
polo.
And so the Speedo was like, required uniform, you know what I mean? And so, yeah. It's
I think it was 1975. I'm walking down the street, and dude was in a Speedo mowing his lawn, and it really scared me, And he wasn't,
Cocaine.
he was just, I just didn't understand, And I was like, wow. I was really, I was enlightened. I was raised in the Bay Area. Where were you guys raised? We'll start with you, Joe. Like, where were you born?
Solano County. Well, I was born in Reading, moved to Solano County, Vacaville when I was very, very, very
That's right. Are you still from Vacaville?
Yep.
That's
Still there.
that's our connection. I raised my children in Vacaville. Okay.
Okay.
Lived in Solano County for 20 years. My kids, lived off Alamo Drive.
My biological father still lives in Vacaville.
Really?
I graduated from Vanden High.
Oh, my kids went to Vaca High. Sorry, so the Rebels, right?
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs, right? But they do the Vandens people they didn't like you, right? Is that the thing?
No, and it
I
was-
don't know why high schools are,
Yeah.
What did you went to? What school do you go to?
I went to Vaca High.
Vaca High, right? Okay. And were you a jock?
No, not
No?
in high school.
Stoner?
Not till afterwards. No, I was always into music. So.
Okay, so you were in the band club?
But there's this interesting thing where it's, if you're in marching band or symphonic band, you're
Okay.
kind of the nerd.
Right.
When you're in jazz band,
Oh, that was better.
you're a little
cool
bit
kids.
cooler. 'cause you
Okay,
get to play the
so
drum set, right?
you were sweet with the
So-
chicks.
But I did all of that. No, I just hung out with all my drummer.
When did you get game? How did you get your woman?
I still don't have. Game.
Okay, you don't have game. Okay, no. She just
When
like
you join a
trapped
band,
her.
it just comes.
Cost of a postage stamp, mail order Russia.
Okay. Hey, it just takes a little. Usually with women though, if they're interested in the musician, Steve, are you the drummer?
No, I'm a bass player.
You're the
He
bass player.
was once the drummer.
I did play drums in the band for a
Okay,
little bit.
you're the drummer.
I am.
I'm sorry. Okay, I should have known that because that's right. I have some cool pictures of you from up top. That I now remember. It's all coming back to me. So
a long time ago.
bass player. Yeah, always.
Always, well, except for a little stint with drums.
Can
a
you
little
play guitar as well?
bit. I'm a horrible guitar player.
Okay, so, but you got the bass
He's a
down.
badass
Bass.
bass player, though.
Yeah.
And I can keep a beat on drums, but I'm a
Okay.
horrible guitar player.
Okay, tell me who's in charge because I know the drummer, right? You got to have a good drummer for a band, right? Because the drummer keeps the singer in line. Or how's that work? How
in
who
this
starts
band.
it? No.
No one keeps John.
Who
You
keeps-
mean as far as song structure and keeping
Yes,
everything together?
that's the mechanics of it. Can we break that down a little bit? Like,
Well-
who keeps you in line?
It's Tommy is pretty much
Okay,
the
Tommy,
thing.
okay.
And then Joe, of course, will feed the most
Okay,
off of Tom. They control the tempo and
right. So if you go rogue and start fucking shit up, okay, and going off whatever the script was, they can bring it back, or like have you ever forgot a word? No one knows, then they just kind of like
we're pretty mechanical and,
Okay.
and robotic in our sense of that.
okay.
You know.
You know, and anytime Tom starts doing something a little different, me and Joe are good about just keeping
Going
the
with
line.
it. All of a sudden he's like,
Look at each other and smile. We're like, okay, I guess we'll just
Gotta
wait for
hurt
him to
this.
come back in.
oh, got it. So Tom's like, hey, I'm really feeling
Tom's
this
a
riff right
riff
now,
right
and you're
now.
like,
He's-
okay.
Well, if you've ever watched
He's a
him
beast.
play, he just,
Yeah.
I mean,
I have watched him.
he
but
gets into
I'm gonna
his
study him
zone
next
where
time.
it's just,
Okay.
he just starts.
But if he
doing
fucks
his
up
thing.
and there's a variable, then that just messes everybody up.
Okay.
I mean, me and singing, but he very rarely does.
Has he
that.
ever started a different song that you weren't ready for? Like, okay, we've said this.
After whiskey, he did.
Like we said, we had a sound check, and we're gonna do it this order. And next thing you know.
Oh yeah, that's happened for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
So.
because he is a drinker.
Because he's a drinker. All right. So we're gonna talk. Let's talk about this song that you're dropping. Okay, that's coming up. What's the vibe of it? Can you talk about how you wrote it, who wrote it, and what's it about? And,
Well, I was just getting ready to say when we recorded "Drop of a Dime."
Yeah.
The dynamic of this band is really unique in that you would think, you listen to some songs and they're heavy and it's just pounding, pounding, pounding.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority, there's always this kind of, we were just talking about it when we were eating, that funk element or that, that groove.
Yeah.
These songs have a lot. This album
Blues
has
bass.
probably, well, no, yeah, I don't know what it is. It just it's this band has that groove.
yeah.
But when you want a hard song, it's there. So Truth that we've already dropped as a single is probably one of the harder songs that's on Welcome to the Revival.
And you dropped that so we can get the hey cameraman, my producer guy. Do you have a mic or are we just hearing you freehand? Are you awake back there,
No, he's not.
Kevin? Quick question.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to be able to put some of their music and when we're talking about this. So this is me, I'm controlling his editing. Can you put a mark the time on this right here, because I'd like you to put a clip up during here. Hey, we're working this podcast out, just so you guys know. We're in our first, obviously this is number 15. When you've seen some of the beginning ones, we have no fucking structure. Okay, we're not the podcast that like, okay, in between there's some commercial break. We're working on that. We're hoping, once we get up to like 20, 25, we're hoping to have like a fine stream where it's like there's these, instrumental breaks and just, where we just come back and commercial and all this stuff. But right now, we're just working it out. You guys are part of the beginning stages.
Can I interrupt just for
Absolutely,
1
you can
second?
anytime.
I just wanted to congratulate you guys on the podcast.
Thanks.
Because we've known that. I've known Stevie from Hellrzzr forever.
Yeah.
Followed you guys forever. Everything you guys do is really cool, but the podcast it's really. I love watching it. It's really
Thank
cool.
you.
And when you guys said you had a podcast, I was like, well, who fucking doesn't have a podcast? This might be
Right.
good.
No, but
When I
there's
tuned in and
it's
watched
very, it's
it.
very watchable.
Okay.
Whether it's structure
Congratulations.
or whatever. it is.
Sometimes I want to talk about like, stuff. Okay, that's really kind of. I'm not doing politics anymore because that turns everybody off. But I do want to talk about, like, hey, I'm a mental health awareness and these kind of things.
Absolutely.
Because I joke about my personalities, but yeah, I have a true, I'm diagnosed. Okay, I have all the labels. I have a personality disorder, and sometimes she, breaks out in all kinds of stuff. And I've done some crazy shit in my life that I had to suppress, and I wasn't able
Sure.
to talk about it. And now I am, because I'm telling my story. And, I'm not afraid of anybody that's kind of held me down in the past.
And you should,
know?
and this is a really good conduit. to
Yeah,
do
and then
that.
COVID
It's
came,
really
right? And
cool.
so we decided, instead of investing, and we couldn't go to venues anymore, and so we said, why don't we just invest in our home studio and
Well, I'm
see if we
glad
can
you
get
did
them. Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
I'm glad you guys are part of number 15, and you'll come back because we would love for you guys to be, just because you're band of the year with Reality Check doesn't mean you're going to not be part of our family. So we would
Absolutely.
love, every once in a while, maybe once or twice a year, you guys can pop in and give us an update on your stuff. Next time we come up, we would
Anytime.
love to have your other guy I already
Tommy.
Tom.
Tom Shaw,
And those are
Captain
my favorites,
Amazing.
Captain Amazing. You know, so we're gonna move the table around. When you guys come the next time, if we do an acoustic set, we'll take this table out. Everyone will have like a little TV tray. It'll be like a circle little thing, and
Cool.
we'll be able to, you know, play the
Absolutely.
guitar, and we'll have it set up to where, you know, you can do vocals, and we'll do something really special. So
That sounds
we'll
awesome.
do that maybe.
We were
like
going to try
end
and
of
do that
summer.
this time, but we got two elements. I fucked up and forgot the guitar, number one.
Okay.
But Tommy kind of gave us a stink eye from the phone, so
I was gonna do a little bit, and that never ends well.
Right. He's like, no, that's
You know-
bad. It would be cool if we could have had him call in. You know what? Can we call him?
Call him?
Because we have that capability.
I don't know.
That's too
Okay.
spontaneous. That's too spontaneous.
Their set didn't start till midnight last
Yeah.
night,
Alright.
and it's also Bahrain Formula One.
what time is it in Vacaville?
Yeah, Fontana,
Right.
Fontana NASCAR. That he's
He's a racehead.
He's busy. He's
yeah.
busy. So maybe we can just like, we don't have that capability yet. If we had some little picture of him, you're amazing. So,
You are amazing.
okay, so there's a show that's coming up next week, right? Or 2 weeks from now? What's
Yep,
happening?
next week.
You know
Yeah, it's
what?
coming
But
up.
if I
There's
can
a
just go
couple.
back for a second,
Yes.
our single truth that's coming out.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk politics. We're not going to talk COVID. We're not going to talk mental health awareness. That's what that song is about.
Is it?
Yeah, the lyrics. If you, I'm a leave 'em guessing type of thing, but the original working title of the song was "Truth 45 Blues," and everyone having a problem with 45, one way or another.
Not me.
Or the
I'm a
prob-
lover.
or-
Sorry, you
or-
want to pull my hat out?
No. Or the people, just the whole it's about media, and it's
Nice.
about COVID, and but it's also about the squashing of mental awareness,
Okay.
and when you hear the song, you'll understand what we're talking about, and that means all that stuff means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech, freedom of belief.
You know what? I'm
being
happy you
free.
said that. I'm so happy you said that because I work for the state, okay, and I'm suppressed, and I can't give my true personality because I value my paycheck, but I do look for the helpers, and I am a helper, and so whenever I can feel a vibe of anything, and I don't care anymore what your belief is in anything because I've been canceled multiple times. I used to have another podcast, which we're not going to get into it, but I was straight up canceled, and this was in 2015, and it really affected me. Like I went to a downward spiral. We were like, it was in our old house. We called it it was the Yellow Kitchen, and it was really groovy. We were having some really cool people coming in our space, and just like that, we got canceled for me defending somebody's right to say something, even though it was a fucked up thing they said. They still had the right to fucking do it, and don't cut and paste me in a private chat, okay? It's like so now I'm really careful what I put in private chat because it's a cut and paste world. But
Well, I'm hoping we're kind of getting back to I'm very opinionated, but I keep it a little suppressed also, only because, I do respect everybody's opinion
Yeah.
and say whatever they want.
well, I don't respect it, but I allow them to have it.
Shit, I'm in a band with 3 fucking Catholics.
I was raised Catholic, but you know what? I never got communion, so I wasn't worthy of the wafer.
Right.
But anyways,
But
that's another story.
I'm hoping we get back to that.
Yeah.
Where, it's like,
It's okay.
songs. Back in the day, I listened to a lot of my favorite bands who were probably whatever they were, Bleeding Heart Liberals or whatever they were. And
Meatloaf, come on.
I want to get back to a point in time when more than one thing
Yeah.
can be true.
Yes.
You can be a conservative,
Right.
but you can also be, I'm.
You can still
I
love the
worry
trees,
about
okay, and the environment,
human
yeah.
beings and my brothers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing all the homeless people on the street.
Nope.
Even there's an argument to be made there, but I want to get back to where we can all talk about it and fix some fucking things instead of
Yeah.
pointing at each other and
Pointing
going,
fingers
"You're
at
wrong."
each side.
Well,
You're right.
the soapbox has gotten bigger though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And the people walking by in the street, the soapbox have gotten worldwide, and so it's just fucking, it's mass.
But this whole
Yeah.
thing that we did today is kind of my belief in that there are certain things that can bring everybody together where we
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that shit.
Rock and roll.
Food,
Music.
music, or that kind of stuff. We don't have to worry about all that other
You know, I
bullshit.
did have one vegan thing. That ranch thing in there was vegan, just in case one of you guys. I put celery and the vegan
stay
ranch.
away from
My brother has a catering business, and we believe me, we cater for the King's organization.
Okay.
But one of the best things we make, it's always requested, or his thing is a sandwich called the mob barley sandwich, and basically it's a
Make my own veggie patty.
veggie
I
patty.
love veggie patties. I
Started
have a son that's vegan, so you know I get it.
We're totally down. We have a good personal friend that had one of the best vegan restaurants in San Diego.
like meat.
We are pro that. I just like meat, but I
You
I
gotta eat
understand.
raw. You know what? Kevin and I, when I have high cholesterol, and I do this thing called Talks with Shell, and I have all these challenges, and I'm not supposed to drink too much wine, and I can't drink that much beer, and the red meat I gotta go, and I gotta walk, and all these I'm in my 50s, so stuff happens. I can't have the donut, so I do eat vegan sometimes, like a vegan meal, and I love that. I was afraid of it at first. When I had hummus for the first time, I'm like, holy shit! And almond milk, I was doing big things, and I was like. And now I can't drink the moo-moo. I haven't been able to drink the moo-moo. For a long
Avocado
time.
chocolate mousse.
Yeah.
Come on now.
You can make,
Oh.
you
Vegan.
can make really, really good things with all of this.
Oh, I
Avocado
did not
soy.
know. I
Yeah.
think I'm in love. I did not know you were a caterer. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, you should be sitting next
These
to
are
me.
the foodies.
But he's the naked guy. That's why I wanted the naked guy behind me. So
I cooked VIP and bands at that
Oh, at
Aftershock
Aftershock,
2015.
We were there.
I sat down with Shinedown in their bus and got loaded. Eagles of Death Metal, Dangerous Day before he passed on. Came up to me.
2015. I think we have a poster. I don't know if we have them all out. Is it on the wall?
It's on the wall right over there. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
looking right at
we
it.
were
Eagles
there.
of Death Metal are fucking major fans of my catering thing. And
I had no idea. See,
Yeah.
you know what? Back then, we used to get extra tickets. So we were obviously in the press pass and doing that stuff, right? And I didn't know, because I was like, oh, I don't want to break the rules. I'm not a rocker, right? I mean, I'm a rocker, but not a musician. And so I didn't know we could go back there with a little meal ticket and go. And I was being all polite, but
Yeah.
but then some of these rimrods are just walking, and I'm like, how did you get back there? They just walk like that. You got to own it, Shell. You got to own it,
I got off early. I done cooking and everything, and I was walking out, going to my car that was parked pretty much right behind the stage, all the employee parking.
Yeah.
And Slipknot was getting ready to play, and I had the pass on, and so I go, I'm gonna wait for these guys to start, and they start clearing the area. They're getting ready. They're just now getting ready to hit the stage. So I went underneath the stage, and I was basically looking out to the retaining wall, and the crowd of kids right underneath a monitor. And when they came out, the bass frequency was like 50 pounds on my back, and
Wow.
I never heard anything so loud my whole entire life.
And you're like, I'm dead. This is like
It was
amazing.
crazy.
Wow.
That was the night that was Jane's Addiction there that year. Yeah, that's when the girl got stuck up on with
It
the
was last year. It was at a Gibson Ranch.
yeah the girls that had the hooks through their
Yes,
skin.
yes,
And
I
she got trapped up there.
But
Me and my wife were right in front of me in the
I
retaining
thought it
wall.
was Marilyn Manson his
Jane's Addiction. There was the Shocking Girls, the twins. One of them got stuck up there and was just hanging there. Do you want us to continue playing? Yeah, we can't get you down.
No, I'm
So they
good.
started the
I'm
next
good.
song
Yeah.
with her stuck up there.
Because
working on it.
Manson, when he played, one of his people, they had the spiraling people up there. I don't know if they got stuck. They were just like up there, So, but,
Oh, wow,
yeah, I've seen it all.
Yeah,
We were-
food and rock and roll takes you crazy places, man.
Wow.
Good times.
That is so good. Yeah, Gibson Ranch. That was pretty crazy when because the parking and all this stuff. People
Yeah.
got stuck. Not us, because we were so cool with the parking. We knew how to park back then. They changed everything. I don't know. We
You
haven't
had bad
applied
luck with
to
parking, I see, recently, right?
the parking now is stupid. You
You
got,
need parking tickets and stuff.
oh yeah, parking tickets. You can't. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many things to get into Aftershock. We might apply this year. We didn't apply the last couple years because I was just like not dealing with the restrictions. I just couldn't do it. I'm just too much. But I used to sneak in the booze for like, okay, I'm just gonna go say, Pat Martin, 98 Rock. He got a lot of free shots off me because no one really checked bags back then, right? So I had the big old bottle.
You're welcome, Pat.
You're welcome.
Did
Okay.
I have to share a story about Pat Martin and
love him.
alcohol.
Yes,
Okay,
please share.
we played Pat Martin's birthday party
Oh, that's right.
out at the Country Club
we missed it.
Saloon in
His-
Loomis.
his-
This is years ago.
Oh, years ago. Okay.
Maybe 50th birthday. I don't really remember, but Whitey and all the original guys were there. It was Pat Martin's birthday, and it's what I was recently sober, so like 2005. Steve was on drums, so that
Okay.
was like back in the day. Every night we would destroy the drum kits, me and Steve, Keith, all Keith Moon. It was a drunken mess, but we had a bass player, Scotty Murdershaw, and they gave us a bar tab.
Nice.
Yeah.
They didn't know though.
They didn't know.
Oh, they didn't
It was $480 in 2 hours.
It was
Two hours, yeah.
And it was just Steve and Scotty.
You're like high end. I want the stuff in the back of the room.
and that was the last night that the Country Club Saloon in beautiful downtown Loomis ever gave the bands bar tabs.
Wow.
Yeah, and,
Cheers to Pat. We just love him.
Absolutely, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Back when you could listen to the radio.
Yep.
Right. Well, it's gone now. We canceled 98 Rock. But see, Pat got out and went to Eagles, or was he at like?
I think he's at the Eagle now.
You know, and it's still him. You know, I tune in every once in a while. I don't commute anymore, so I'm not on.
Right.
I know you can get the radio on the app, but it's not the same when you're not in the car.
Right.
But he left, and you know, I was all in with Mikey and that damn show, and I just love those guys. And when they all got canceled, it's just sad. You know, you want to have you want to go down a rabbit hole and conspiracy and all that kind of stuff. Watch the Mikey podcast, okay?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Mikey is doing his thing. After he lost his job there, he just said, well, whatever, I'm just going to roll my sleeves up and try to do this at home. And I don't know if he can do it forever. He's got subscriptions and stuff, but it's a radio podcast, so when you listen to him, it's like listening to the segment of their show, you know.
I'm a radiophile as far as like radio.
We have a radio voice too, along with the singing. You know.
I still listen to
Give me the weather
AM
right now.
radio
AM?
through a tube, solid state transistor radio.
Nice.
type
Well,
of
you know, when
thing.
the zombies come, we're going to go to your house. You can, if you're up in this area, we're going to save you because we got all the guns, okay? And
Groovy.
you know, and I mean, the other
If
people
you
at
have
this
your
table.
radio.
Yeah.
Do you have a ham radio? Do you have a handle back in the day?
I never got into ham. I was more shortwave.
Shortwave? Okay.
Nerdy guy. You know, tubes and transistors.
What about you, Steve? Are you the same? You got a radio?
No,
He's
I
like,
listen
no,
to radio
man.
in the car, but that's about
That's
it.
it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I miss the
And
days.
usually I
Of,
listen to talk radio.
I miss the days of Mark and Brian.
Oh, yeah.
The first syndicated.
Of course.
That was so freaking. That was listenable radio, and you know, and those days are kind of gone. I miss that. I'm a coast to coast syndicated guy, but yeah, I love old school radio.
That's what we're, you know, if you ever, would you, any of three of you guys, you know, would you ever consider if we have a topic or something you want to say, you know, you could do a call in, you know, like when we have, if you can't come up but you have something to say and we just tell you, hey, we're podcasting next week. Can you give us 5 minutes and you just be a call in person?
I would love to do that.
Would that be cool? Like just a
Absolutely.
regular kind of thing, just like blurp it on in.
Absolutely.
Maybe you can do
like
the
I said, I'm
radio.
very opinionated, but nobody listens to me.
No, I do.
I love the sound of my own voice, but I hate the thoughts in my head.
I love the thoughts in my head. Oh my God, I have so many friends. I name them. I love them.
Girl, you have no idea.
You know, so he's giving me my first wind up. Have we talked for an hour? I got 10 minutes left. I have not gotten into the hand signals
Kevin,
yet.
we can go all night, dude.
So
I thought that was the amount of friends in your head.
I have, okay, so do you name your personalities? I mean, I'm diagnosing you. You said you have mental health awareness. I mean, you have a couple, right?
I'm in denial they even exist.
Okay, so I have Shell and I have Crystal. Okay, and those are the two main ones. I have Molly. Okay, so, you know, Molly comes out, you know, when I'm really kind of hyper, and you got to watch out, you know, and each one has a different, you know, vibe. You know, next time maybe I'll wear one of my wigs next time I see you guys, you know.
Love it.
You know, it's just, Kevin's met them all. He's like had sex with all of them.
Manic Molly.
It is manic Molly.
Not the cool Molly, more like electro dance vibe Molly, fucking all over the place.
Not the mellow rave Molly, but
I can kill you, Molly. You know, but that's fun too. So yeah, you know, what about you? What about you, Steve? You know, what's going on? Are you just even keeled? You're just always this
I'm
guy
very-
with the nice beard and.
It's fucking horrible.
Do
Pretty
we-
much, yeah.
do you-
I'm
do
pretty
you-
much every.
Do you condition your beard? Let's talk about your hygiene. You know,
Every once in a while.
You don't. You smell good. I mean,
Used
you
to
don't.
be
You
this
know.
long.
No,
Really?
I wash it every day, condition it about.
It's not a
once, twice
flavor
week.
saver where you're like just
No, I
picking
have
stuff
to.
off.
If I see
Okay.
something, I always have to get it out. And I'm always told by my wife, "You got something right there. You got something right there."
What about you, Joe? You're, you know, you got that.
I will eat French fries out of Steve's beard.
Okay. Okay.
Question?
No, I'm just talking about your, you know, you have that dark hair. You know, do you have brown eyes?
I don't know, do I?
Do it? Says
I thought there was hazel.
We don't-
or
we
You
don't-
got
something like
hazel?
that.
We have no.
I have no glasses on, so
We
I don't
never
know.
make eye contact with each
No,
other.
that's
We never
right.
have ever.
Because you know it will steal your soul,
Right? Yeah.
right?
What?
Yeah.
That's one of our band rules. Is no eye contact.
Yeah, absolutely. Stop it.
Have you ever like? Do you guys like? You know, if you kiss somebody, do you like suck their soul out a little bit? Am I getting too deep for you? You ever done that? Come on, I know.
Try
you
that.
know.
I'm a scratch and sniff soul stealer myself.
You are?
Strawberry.
A working title of our next Richard.
That would be so
Scratch
awesome.
and sniff soul stealer.
Oh my God! You know what? Let's
like it.
you know what? Put a point on that one here. You guys better write that down. That's good.
Anybody
you know?
tries to steal that shit, I will.
So take it back. I let people try to take it, but then I'll come and get it back. You know. So
Or Molly will.
Molly will. She will.
will fuck
Okay,
you
so
up.
I guess our producer's saying we're going to wind it up a little bit. So in closing, I always like to say, little shout outs. Everyone, I want to give you an opportunity. The people that are closest in your life, this is our time to, I get silly and flirty and, but your wives and your people in your life, your children, your grandchildren, those are the ones that are your legacy, right? You're doing this for your legacy. Can we just kind of give a little moment? We'll go left to right, and we'll start with you, Joe.
Just for shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs to your wife or your
well,
kids or just your producers,
Obviously, I always shout out to my girl,
Yeah.
Candy. She puts up with my ass, and I probably invest way too much time to this. But,
She signed up for that when she fell in love with the
I don't
musician.
know that she did, but
Yes, she did.
she's kind of,
What the hell?
There's us,
knows
and
about
then
it
there's
now.
his everything.
Sorry.
But
Speaking of that, sorry, I'm going to hang this up. This is my granddaughter who stalks me all day long, so
my
I'm just gonna have to turn her off.
But
I
as
am
far
so
as
sorry.
shout outs, we've and I personally have been blessed enough to get nothing but support from people like you, RCTV. Hellrzzr has
Yeah.
always, and me and Stevie go way back. I've known Stevie for a long, long time.
He loves you.
And there's just, I mean, that our band, everybody in our band, it's very rare that you get to play music with people that you like to play music
Right.
with. And I'm fortunate. I actually have two bands, but
What's the other one, real quick? Let's
Hill
just give
Country
a shout.
Truckers is my country band.
Okay.
So good.
And I had a punk band. I just lost a good friend. Speaking of mental health,
Yeah.
to mental health.
I'm
so
really
that band
sorry.
will no longer play. But
REP Switchblades.
absolutely. So I do all the booking and all that stuff. So shout out to everybody out there that's been receptive to this band.
Yep.
Joe Johnson at Puss Cavern.
Okay.
Amazing producer and engineer. Who's
Shout outs to where you guys record.
Joe Johnson,
Joe
Puss
Johnson,
Cavern.
Puss Cavern.
Okay, that's
Puss
what it is,
Cavern in
okay.
Sacramento.
He put a spark when he produced and engineered that EP. That's when we realized that that we weren't just doing it for us.
Okay.
It was for fans of rock and roll music, and
Yeah.
Joe had a lot to do with that.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. So
Thank you
thanks
for
to
that.
everybody out there.
Thank
absolutely.
you. What about
Yeah,
you, Steve?
definitely to my wife Sheena is amazing.
What's her name?
So many levels. Sheena.
Sheena.
Yeah.
Wow, is she
Sheena
like
is a punk
She-Ra? I'm sure she's heard that.
Sheena is
I
a
bet
punk
she's a
rocker.
warrior
Yeah,
princess.
She is a punk rocker.
Oh,
Right
really?
now, my
Recently sober, doing really great.
Almost
Yeah.
5 months. And,
Okay.
We adopted my niece and nephew about 6-7
You-
years ago.
Really?
And
Wow, that's a special type of family to do that.
People.
Wow.
They're both great. The older one's in the Air Force. We have a girl
Okay.
in high school. They're awesome.
Great.
She's been to a few shows. She loves it.
Air
And,
Force, thank you for dedicating, your Air Force family,
She's
so
in ROTC.
Yeah, he went through the whole IRTC program all through high school. And
Wow.
he's doing excellent. He's married now, which kind
Okay.
of still freaks me out. But
How does that work?
He's not only a bass player, he's really cool.
He's really cool too. You're a good family man. Thank
try to
you
be.
for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and of course my parents who both passed away, but they were like the biggest influence.
Hey, Mom and Dad, your kids are doing good. You got these boys here, and they're doing so good. What was your mom and dad's name again?
Larry and Jerry.
Larry and Jerry? I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. And your turn. What about you?
Well, of course,
Of course, your beautiful brunette lover,
absolutely
And those
Hammer,
pants that you guys
AKA
share.
Mariah.
Mariah.
And, I had two dads growing up.
Okay.
Steve's dad, Larry, and my dad, Ray,
Okay.
in Vacaville and Folsom. And there was always a question, the question always is, Beatles or Stones. And I was blessed having two dads growing up that were actually friends and friendly, and
Oh.
there was always this battle, and I'd always say The Who. And I wanted to be in a band like The Who.
Okay.
It was fucking loud, and it looked cool, and so that was like the start of that for me. And my wife, my family, my grandkids,
Yeah,
And
you
my-
said you had a few. Can you name their names? Come on the spot.
Cameron,
Cameron,
Better get them right.
Avery,
Maverick, the newest baby.
Come on, brother, help
No,
him
that's
out.
his name, the newest baby.
Oh, this is his baby.
Yeah, newest baby. God, it's, I can't remember my
That's
youngest
okay.
granddaughter's name.
That's okay, but you know she's a girl, so we got that.
Correct. Yeah, and she's the evil, weird one.
Molly.
Yeah, she's the Molly of my grandkids.
Okay.
But what's funny about the grandkids is Maverick. He's expecting a new baby brother in May.
Okay.
And he's named him Baby Maverick Puckett Jr.
Oh, hey, wow, a lot of pressure.
So that's the working title for mom and dad. But
Put that
anyway,
on a football jersey.
I started
Wow.
playing music again when I got sober
Yeah.
with Tommy in 2001.
Yep.
When Cardboard Ringo officially started, and I one of my kids back in Ohio, their dad in California was a really cool guy,
Yeah.
and he had something to say, and he tried to
Do stuff.
positivity through music,
Okay.
and just the release and the celebration and all that is.
Yeah.
And then there was that, and I do it for the chicks. So every now and then, girls will throw bras and stuff up on
You know
stage,
what?
which I fucking totally dig.
You might get a little more of that if you didn't take Polaroids of your junk and almost put people's eyes out by flinging
do that?
the Polaroid.
He's done.
There's good on YouTube on our
Once it-
our YouTube channel. There's
You
a
got
couple
your
shows.
junk?
Well, yeah, I take pictures with a Polaroid and I throw them out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Violently throw them out. I
Yeah.
bet.
You're like, ah.
Yeah, it's
Oh, man.
it's part of the shtick. Johnny Pockets, he's a funny guy.
Oh, I love it.
He's
Okay.
dropped trowel before.
Crazy.
All right. So, what's the name of what's the date? April 29th is your next show at the Goldfields?
No. This
This
No,
Saturday.
This Saturday.
at the Boardwalk.
At the Boardwalk.
With,
Love the Boardwalk. Have you played with
okay.
the new version of the Boardwalk yet?
Not
We
the
have
new version,
not.
no.
Okay, it's kind of cool.
This is going to be a big show.
A funny story about that is our last show before COVID was at the Boardwalk when we opened for the choir boys, London Choir Boys.
Okay.
Great band. I love the choir boys. There was about 4 people there because it was, anyway. But that was our last show before
All right.
everything was shut down for COVID. But this will be our first time back playing the Boardwalk with the new owners and all that.
Yeah.
We will be playing
There's a lot of
with-
surfboards there. It's very
Yeah.
Santa Cruz like.
Yes. Betty Blowtorch.
Nice.
is
Betty
headlining.
Blowtorch. Okay.
Are you familiar?
No, I'm not.
Do
Check
some
them out.
research on Betty Blowtorch. It's quite
Okay.
the story. They're
All
making their
right.
comeback.
Feminist band, sex and pyrotechnics on stage, a tragic
awesome.
end to a band. It's their first little tour back with the
Great.
new
And the
band.
Screaming Bloody Marys, and Kevin and I were talking about knowing Dave Dalton from Die Laughing Records and the Screaming Bloody Marys. So
Okay, that's
those
gonna
guys
be
will be
awesome.
playing. And then we got added. That's the 29th of
The
April.
29th of April is
LA
LA Guns.
Guns at
Goldfields.
Goldfields.
It's our
And
second
then-
time or third time playing with those
So,
guys.
so
like it.
we would like. I
Second
mean, I
time.
kind of invited myself and Kevin to work hard, but as you know, that we're for hire, guys. Just so you guys know,
Yeah.
but for the band of the year,
Well-
we're for love for you guys. So we would donate our time one more time to you guys, and we would love to do that show with you on April
I'll just
29th.
put this out there. As
That'd be
much as we love all of the footage that you guys give us and do for us and everything, you guys are always invited to any show that we have. You don't have to film it. You let me know if you can make the show.
Yeah.
No, but
You'll
we
be on the
want to
list.
film it. We
You
want to
guys
film it
will
because
get
I'm
to
throwing my
enjoy
bra,
yourself for
and I
once.
need footage of that. I'm
will
taking my
bring
yellow
donuts.
bra.
We
Okay.
will bring
Why
fritters, I
we go,
guarantee it.
Will you put
all
a
we have
donut
for
on your
footage.
junk?
Can,
No, never mind. Never mind.
It will.
If you're gonna throw a bra on stage, can Kev throw a donut at me?
I'm bringing clean Superman chonies for him. Someone's gonna wear those.
I know, but I
okay?
really
So-
like a donut.
Okay.
That would be so cool. The new thing that everyone starts doing at shows, dude. They must have threw like 1,000 fucking donuts at us, dude. We were on fire.
We're gonna bring dozens.
Joe had a
We're gonna
fucking
bring some
chocolate
donuts.
long john on
We
the
played
side
a
of his
festival
face.
in LA, and there was like 10,000 donuts on
And
stage.
it all started
eat
at
that
Goldfields
shit.
in Roseville. So,
Cream-filled chocolate bar.
yes. Okay. Well, you know what? We appreciate you guys. My producer's wrapping it up. I need some exit music, so when we wrap this up, are you
Get a
ready for
Cardboard
that?
Ringos.
Okay, we got thing 1, thing 2, and that's a wrap. See you next time.
Want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. ball.